Alright, well, I am back working on my Blazer once again, and the first thing I'm going to tackle is this track bar mount. Building a gusset for it. I already got these plates cut out and tacked on there, but I do want to add like some kind of cap on it like that, just to make it look a little bit more finished and also stronger. But I do need to be able to get that bolt out, so I'm going to cut a piece of this and do some notching and stuff to get it to fit down in there around that bolt. And then when I put the cap on there, I'll just put a hole in there so you can still get a socket onto that bolt there. Okay, so I was going to make it like perfectly fit in there and stuff, but then I figured I might as well make that hole still be there. So if water does get in here, it'll just drain out the bottom. So it just looks like this, notched out like that, and it fits in right there. So I'll weld it right here and then weld it down here onto this bracket. And then if water gets into this hole or mud gets in there and you got to wash it out or something, it can just wash down and out, just make it a little bit easier. But you should be able to get that bolt out now. So I'll weld this into place and then I'll start getting my cardboard to fit with that hole, cut a piece out and weld that on, and then this should not go anywhere. Is it videoing? I'm living the high life right now. Just picked up a new marker, some new welding gloves. Makes life a lot easier. Show you. The amount of times I've burnt myself, it's ridiculous. So, finally bought some new ones. They're just cheap ones, but definitely better than expensive ones with holes in them. So. I think I can work with that. But, and then this sticks out a little bit past this, so I can put it on there, weld it up, and then grind it smooth, and then it'll just look seamless. So, but I'm pretty happy with the welds on this thing. So it's gonna be pretty sweet. I welded all the way around on the outside, and then I stitched weld it on the inside. So hopefully it never has to come off, because it's not going to. Okay, so I got that all built. I think it turned out pretty sweet. You can get to that bolt. It's got a drain hole in there, so water and stuff doesn't get trapped, and it's gonna be strong. So now I need 4 of these. So They go like that, right there. So I can build caps for right there and down there as well. And then I'll add a couple more gussets and stuff. So, here, 4 of these cut out. I already got them drawn onto here. So, just need to get them cut out. So I just got the top hole capped, that hole capped, and then the bottom welded right here. Okay, so now it's all welded up. So now probably gonna do like a gusset between here and maybe back here, something like that. But I'm gonna get the other side capped off and then figure out some gussets. Okay, so now for this plate, I want to drill some holes and plug weld it to the cross member that goes through here. So I'm just going to drill a hole every 4 inches right here so I can just plug weld it, just to make sure, you know, when you're winching it doesn't pick up off of that or distort. It just hold it strong. So just making some marks where to drill the holes. Alright, so I just finished getting them all drilled. So now, essentially I gotta fill that with weld. So I'll weld around it and then weld up that hole, every single one. And that'll just make it way stronger because it's tied into the 2x4 that is underneath it. So. That. Now let's go do the rest of it. There they are, all welded up. So it is welded on the back side underneath as well. I just wanted to do that just to make sure it's super strong, so this thing will never come apart. But as you might notice, these holes I can't get a bolt to them right now, so I'm gonna have to cut a hole in here. I don't know if I'm gonna cut like a square hole and maybe do a couple of them like decorative here, or if I'll cut a round one and put a tube in there. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'll figure that out. But front bumper is completely welded now. That was the last thing I needed to do to that. Alright, so now that I got all that stuff done and strengthened up, now I'm going to go down to here and do a little bit more bracing here. I think I'm going to run a tube from this to this tube and then down to the frame, something kind of like that, with like a little piece poking out from there, something like that. Just to tie all this stuff together, just to make sure this joint is really strong. So I'm going to start cutting some pieces to try to get them to fit into there. And yeah, so I think that's the plan. I think that's going to look the best with tube. I was going to do plate, but I think it would just look a little weird with plate. So I'm going to try tube first, see how it looks, and if I don't like it, I can always go to plate. Alright, so I just took it over to the tubing notcher, put a notch into it so that fits right onto that. So now I just got to cut that angle into this, which should be a 45-degree angle. So I just need to put a 45 on the end of that, and it should sit right down in there where I want it to, and then just build the next one. Alright, so there it is. I got it all tacked into place. I think it turned out pretty good. I think it looks good too. It's going to be strong. As I was making this side, I cut everything out for the other side, so I already got the other side tacked in as well. So now I'm just going to go through and burn that all in. And then I'm going to take this clip out of here and weld this tab to that for my brake line. It used to mount back here, but since my axle's 2 inches further forward, I need to move this forward a little bit, so I'm going to be safe and just move it forward quite a bit because it was already kind of back of where it should have been. So get that fixed, and yeah, it's going to be pretty sweet. So I'm going to get all that burned in now. Alright, and there it is, all welded up. You might be able to see the other side better because I still have the light over here. But yeah, I think that turned out pretty good. It's going to be nice and strong. So okay, I think that was like the only worrisome part. I mean, it was strong before, but now it's super strong. It's all tied in nice and good. So now I'm not worried about it bending or anything at all. So yeah, now I'm going to get these brake lines mounted onto those bars as well. I'm just going to weld this tab onto that bar. Alright, so unfortunately that's all the time I have today. I've been really trying to get this thing going, but I've been busy lately, and then we went and got that buggy for Braden. So I really only had a day to work on this thing. hopefully in the next video, I'm gonna really push to finish a lot of this stuff up and get this thing going again. I've been really waiting on some money so I can order some parts and stuff, so that's why it's been kind of going slower than I wanted it to, but it'll get there. It's getting really close. There's a few more things in the front I gotta do, and then I could flip it around and finish up the back, because I still gotta put shocks and stuff in the back, and there's a couple things I want to do. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this process. It's been a lot of fun, but it is a lot of work, and it doesn't look like I've been getting as much done in these last couple of videos, but I've been doing all the little tedious work that nobody really wants to see, but it has to be done. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.